Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to another video. Welcome back to another episode on Beyond the Touchline. This is the pre-game week show for Game Week 22. Now, I do apologize. I'm recording this ahead of time. In fact, even before Game Week 21 has been played. So that's how much earlier I'm recording this. And the rationale is because I don't think I have enough time to produce videos when Game Week 21 is ended. The post-Game Week 21 and the pre-Game Week 22, I'm not able to probably do both in time when it comes to my scheduling. So this is why I decided to record this beforehand. I mean, ultimately, they're just predictions. So, I mean, just based on what I feel, the vibe, that I'm going to get from these games, and I'll make predictions from there. Of course, it would be very nice to have Game Week 21 in, a little bit of recency bias to maybe change some of my predictions. But regardless, I'll try my best to get post Game Week 21 as fast as I can. If I'm not able to, at least I'm able to get this video out to you guys, and it's better than nothing. So as I said, I really do apologize for the, again, scheduling problems. It's been rather sticky, unfortunately, as of late. I'll do what I can to get the videos out to you guys, so just bear with me, please. But yeah, thank you so much for all the support, as I've said, throughout all these videos. And yeah, drop a like on the video if you guys are enjoying this series, and of course, subscribe if you're new around here. Get discussing in the comments down below how you guys think Game Week 22 will pan out. But yeah, let's jump right in. So of course, no table because Game Week 21 didn't happen as I'm recording this. So just talk about the games essentially. Starting things off with Newcastle Bournemouth, followed by West Ham Palace, then Brentford Liverpool, Leicester Fulham, Arsenal Villa, Nottingham Southampton, Everton Tottenham, Man United Brighton, Ipswich City, and to wrap up the game week, Chelsea Wolves. So let's not waste any more time. Let's jump right into the first game. Right, Newcastle Bournemouth. I think this one will be very, very interesting. I don't know, as I said, because I really don't know the Game Week 21's results, right? But I feel like Newcastle are on hotter form than Bournemouth for sure. And I think quality-wise, Newcastle are going to be better than Bournemouth 100%. Right, I think Newcastle have what it takes to just beat Bournemouth any given day. Of course, I think Bournemouth will be very competitive. It's just that I just don't think, again, at St James's Park, when the fans are really, supporting the team as much as they can right now, especially the results that they're having, I'm sure the fans will be delighted and ecstatic to see the team performing this well. I'm sure moving forward, that's exactly what they want to do for the club. But yeah, I just don't exactly feel the confidence in Bournemouth to really get the result over the line against Newcastle. I think for me, it's relatively straightforward for this one-ish. I mean, as I said, Bournemouth are going to be competitive in some way, one way or another. But for me, it's going to be a 2-1 win to Newcastle. Now, will Isak score 9 in 9 consecutive games now, providing he scored in the previous game? Well, if he scored against Wolves, 8 consecutive games, will he score against Bournemouth? I'm also rooting for him to score in both. So will be 9 consecutive games after this one. Very, very close to matching their record. We'll see what happens, essentially. But I think, form is really on Newcastle's side, and it's on Newcastle's side of the house to just not get the result over the line against Bournemouth, in my opinion at least. So I am quite positive in terms of Newcastle's performance. I'm sure it will be a tight game. I'm sure Bournemouth would try their best to fight for it. I think just that Newcastle might just be a little bit too much for them to handle. Right, West Ham and Palace. Now this one, I mean, Potter, how would he have fared in his first game? I don't know. I mean, I predicted a defeat against Fulham. We'll see what happens with that one. Now against Palace, again, a team that I'm quite sure even Lopetegui would be expected to beat them. I'm sure about it. And it's the same with me, essentially. I think Palace, they're just the worst team. But at the same time, they're on the best team. And I'm sure, with West Ham's quality, I'm sure it's beatable. And I'm quite certain, with, when Potter, if he suffers a defeat in his first game, second game, he knows that he needs to get a result over the line, sharpish. And he knows that he needs to just get things straight already. I'm sure he's able to see some loopholes in the team or some problems that coexist over there. I'm sure he's able to do what he can to ensure that he get this result over the line as well. But yeah, as for Palace, I'm sure it's not going to be the easiest game. I mean, London Stadium is not the best ground to play at. I mean, in terms of atmosphere as well, the Hammers fans, I know they're really going to cheer on West Ham. As I said, the Potter's announcement is really, I mean, it's divided a lot of people. For me, I'm sitting on the fence and say he's just a wild card. Some people just very disappointed. Some people believe a relegation battle is incoming. Some people believe that, we're going to have a very good second half of the season. It's challenging, I think, moving forward. We only can take things one step at a time and allow things to just, nature to take its toll, essentially, in terms of performance and in terms of how they're going to perform in games. Hopefully no injuries as well, and hopefully players are in really good form, etc. A lot of factors are going to have to happen for us to really have a very, very good second half of the season. But I think for this one, for me, 2-1 win. Oh, oops. Yeah, sorry, I did the mistake later when I'm editing, but yes, a 2-1 win for West Ham in my opinion. I think this is where, hopefully Potter starts to get the steam running at the club, starts to get the mojo kicking in, got to be quick, got to be sharp. Again, I don't know what the expectations are, what the objectives are at West Ham this season. I mean, at the start, I'm quite positive that they were probably expecting, challenging for Europe, but the way that the season is planned, it's been up and down, and I mean, they're in a position where it's going to be difficult to challenge for that. So, we'll see what happens in this game, but for me at least, I think West Ham are probably going to win this one. Right, next game, Brentford-Liverpool. It is going to be very difficult for Brentford. I mean, Liverpool, they're in the hottest form as well, despite, picking up these draws and defeats so far. But I think, it's going to be difficult for Brentford. Obviously, the last game was against City, and I predicted them to lose to City, and after that, they've got Liverpool. So 2 games back to back, which they know are just going to be the worst. I mean, despite both games being played at home, but I'm sure they know that it's just going to be difficult. I think 2 different sides with 2 different profiles, with 2 different playing styles, it's really going to be difficult. Obviously, I know Brentford, I think they stand a better chance to beat City than to beat Liverpool. But of course, I predicted Liverpool to get a defeat against Nottingham. Again, I don't know if that's going to happen. But for this one, I've put in 1-1 draw. And I think, at this point, I'm just really tipping Liverpool to start bottling things. But the rationale is that if they do get a defeat against Nottingham, or if they do drop points against Nottingham, I think the confidence is going to be low coming into this game against Brentford. And we know, again, how difficult Brentford can be. We know how sticky Brentford can be. I know it's not going to be easy for them, and I'm quite positive that it's going to be challenging. As I said, I don't expect them to do wonders, Brentford. But again, if players like Brian and Mbeumo just starts to pop up again, then that'll be pretty mental. But my take on it for this one is that it is going to be challenging. It is going to be very difficult for Brentford. But at the same time, I don't think it's going to be as straightforward as it is for Liverpool. I mean, I know how good Liverpool are, but I'm not the most confident, unfortunately, for this one. So, putting 1-1 draw. But of course, I expect Liverpool to win for sure. It's just that I think this possibly could be the continuation of a wobbly run of form that they're having. I think after this as well, after this game week, they'll be facing Tottenham again, or maybe a couple of game weeks later, but in the EFL Cup. But I mean, maybe what happened? Okay, I mean, when City started off their torrid run of form, it was the defeat against Tottenham in the EFL Cup. They've led to the bottling. Could Liverpool have the same fate? I really, really don't know. But again, I mean, on any given day, I really expect Liverpool to win. Put in this result, being bold again. Just thinking Liverpool are going to drop a little bit more points than in Nottingham. If I tip them to win, they could be on level points in Liverpool. I'm just having a little bit of fun here with regards to predictions. But on a serious note, I think Liverpool should be winning this game. They know that they stand the best chance of winning. But as for Brentford, I think they're going to do what they can to just get a result. And I'm predicting them to get a draw against Liverpool. A very crucial point, I think, in my opinion. Right, Leicester Fulham. Now, this one, I mean, it's going to be challenging for both teams. Difficult, especially for Leicester City. And we know how okay Leicester can be at times in games. And yes, of course, I mean, the defeats have picking up have been a lot as of late. But still, I believe, as I said, Leicester are just aren't the worst team ever. It's just that maybe just not the best to stay in the Premier League. And against Fulham, a team that, they will want to continue to win as much as they can to get good results over the line. It's not going to be easy to get a result over Leicester, in my opinion. My prediction on this one is going to be a 1-0 win for Fulham. Now, again, just because I think quality difference is definitely on Fulham's side, they should be doing well. I think no questions asked really from Fulham. They know where they stand in the grand scheme of things, and they know they're much better than Leicester City. They know they need to pick up the win. Obviously, their game against West Ham, they've picked up. I've predicted them to pick up a win as well. So hopefully they will be able to continue to do the same in this one. Or even if they do drop points against West Ham, this is a must-win game for them. Again, any result less than a win is going to be very, very poor, in my opinion. And as for Leicester, of course, the challenge continues, the difficulty continues, the problems continue to surface itself again. They're just going to have to keep trying Leicester City as well, and to see if they're able to survive the Premier season. But as of now, it's game one more bleak for them, unfortunately. Right, Arsenal Villa. I mean, this one should be a very, very fun game. I think Arsenal Villa has always proven, or rather, at least in my eyes, like they've always been very, very fun games to watch and very entertaining throughout. And I mean, Arsenal will want to get themselves back on form again. You know, they want themselves to do as well as they can again. If they do drop points against Tottenham, this is one of those games where they know they've just got to turn their fortunes around. They know they've just got to beat Villa. Villa, I mean, the inconsistency is still going to surface, in my opinion. I just don't think Villa are going to get a result over the line against Arsenal. I think Arsenal are just going to be a step too much for Villa in this case. I'm predicting a 4-2 win. I'm predicting a goals galore kind of game for this one. I just think it's going to be a really enjoyable game to watch, even as a neutral fan. And I expect Arsenal to win this one, in my opinion. And we'll see what happens. Yeah, I just think Villa, they might be able to threaten Arsenal a little bit here and there. But I think for 90 minutes, I think Arsenal should just have the better quality. But if their dip in form has resulted them in losing confidence and resulted in them just not getting the results over the line, and they've been wobbly again in front of goal, then obviously this result could go the other way. But I see this game as one, a game they should be winning, and two, and if they've been dropping points again, it just should be a game that allows them to have a little bit of a confidence boost moving forward. Right, Nottingham and Southampton, obviously two very contrasting stories. One crazily performing at the top, the other one crazily underperforming at the bottom of the Premier League table. Again, as I said, Nottingham Forest, they know what they can do and they know what they're capable of. Even if they do get a defeat against Liverpool, and even if they don't get a win against Liverpool, I don't think that hurts their confidence at all moving forward. I know they're still going to try their best to pick up wins. And, it's getting a lot more positive in the team. I think the atmosphere, the vibes are incredible inside there right now. I'm sure, they're really going to try their best to push for what it takes to win games week in, week out, to be very, very consistent. And Southampton, they should know that it's not a very difficult opponent at this point in time, not a very difficult opponent to beat. They know they have the quality over them. They know what they have and what it takes really to just get a result over the line. And of course, for Southampton, I mean, yeah, no confidence in them whatsoever. Unfortunately, I just don't think they're going to cut it again. I don't know how long Ivan Juric is going to stay as manager at that club, but at this rate, he's going to be sacked in like less than a few months as well. Yeah, Southampton, they just need to figure out a lot of things really, and I mean, obviously the team is just not up to standard for sure, but at the same time, yeah, it's just difficult for them really to perform week in, week out. Confidence is just super, super, super low at the club. I just don't have that confidence as set in them to get the results over the line. I mean, if they get the draw as I predicted against Manchester United, I think that would do them a little bit of favours. But coming to this one against Nottingham, I mean, it's really going to dampen their spirits even more, considering how clinical and how good Nottingham have been this season. My take on it, simple, vintage, maybe 3-0 win for Nottingham. I just don't think they're going to drop points. Nottingham, I have my full confidence for this one. Alrighty, Everton Tottenham. Now this one again is very difficult to tell, very difficult to manage again. Again, of course, Everton as always are going to rely on Jordan Pickford to save them from conceding goals or to just get a decent result over the line. And as for Tottenham, they know they just need to keep on trying, and they know that their Premier League performances have been obviously diabolical, just not good enough. Do I think this is going to continue? Probably, to be honest. I'm predicting 0-0 draw for this one, and I just don't know. It's just a vibe for this one. Obviously, again, on good days, Tottenham should be winning, and I believe Tottenham have the capacity and the capability to beat Everton at any given day. It's just that my take on it for this one is I just don't think that's going to happen. I think they're probably going to miss a couple of shots, and I think Pickford is going to have another game of his life. Again, just try to save Everton. And as Everton, I don't think they're going to be any good moving forward either. But I mean, it's a prediction nonetheless. Things can change. Things will go crazy. Might just be Everton 1-0 win. Who knows? But chances of Everton picking up wins is just getting slimmer and slimmer and slimmer, in my opinion. I really don't know. You maybe have to wait till like April again for Everton to just suddenly step up, avoid relegation, pick up some good wins to just stay in Premier League again next season. But yeah, Everton, they really need to change a lot of things in that team. But I just think for this game, a 0-0 draw is a great result from Everton. Will be a very poor result for Tottenham in my eyes, but I think that's really the state of play, isn't it, for Tottenham? They can get good results sometimes and sometimes just get poor results. And I think this is one of those games where, yeah, you're just not going to get the result over the line. Right, Man United and Brighton now. This one will be very interesting as well. I mean, both teams that aren't really on the best of forms, um, and both teams want to do something about it. And again, both teams inconsistent. Both teams, yeah, just it's a very weird one. This one, very hard to manage in my opinion. Like how it's going to happen. At the start of the season, obviously Brighton did beat Manchester United through a last-minute goal. I think it was a corner or an in-swinging free kick. I can't remember. It was one or the other. Like a last-minute winner that Man United lost to, and it was the start of a torrid tenure again for Erik ten Hag. Obviously, his sack after that was sort of impending. But for this one, I look at it again and I ask myself, how would both teams fare? I mean, both teams are just as inconsistent as they are. It's so difficult to predict. And looking at the quality again, if would Amarin still be able to see or rather have what he wants out of the team to be reflected on the pitch again? Will he be able to see a United that he wants to see? In terms of the playing style, would he see that being reflected in the game itself? I don't know. And my answer is leaning towards a no. And as for Brighton, I just think that maybe there is something in them that could somehow revitalize the season again to just continue to pick up a good result or two. This is a wild card. This game, I really can't tell which way it's going to go. And me putting a 2-1 win for Brighton is just simply because of the fact that I think Manchester United, they're just still the same United that they've been throughout this entire season, still just not been good enough. Yes, they've just had one game that they do well, and that's pretty much it. That's like the highlight, right? And then just go back to square again. I just have not seen a consistent United getting wins or consistent United in terms of the playing style, the performances. It's not been up there. It's not been convincing enough for me. Whereas Brighton, yes, they've been consistently losing or drawing games as of late. But I don't know. I just have a little bit more confidence in Brighton to get the win. And that's what I've gone with. I could be wrong. I should be wrong. I don't know which way it's going to go. Maybe they'll share the spoils. But yeah, this is a really tough one to predict in my opinion. Right, Ipswich and Man City. I really don't know how it's going to go. And I don't really want to say too much. I mean, simply put, if City don't win against Brentford, they're going to come into this game, struggling in my opinion. Because Ipswich, shock wins against Tottenham, shock wins against Chelsea. I just feel that it's not going to be very straightforward moving forward if that were to happen to City if they don't beat Brentford. So they've got to beat Brentford first, and then Ipswich should be a lot easier to tackle. Yes, I mean, Ipswich, I know they're going to be very positive again, and the last time they played, obviously lost 5-1, but it was a really, really good game for Ipswich, in my opinion. They really shown what they can do. And I think it was the start of me seeing Ipswich and thinking that, yes, this is clearly what they can do on any given day. I mean, the results, yes, not very reflective of their general performance, but I mean, that game they lost 5-1 because of mistakes by the keeper. But for this one, ever since that game, I think they've been a lot more consistent moving forward. Ipswich still creating really good chances and still getting some points on the board despite them being very sporadic. But my take on this one is it's going to be a 4-1 win to Man City. I have my faith in my boys, in my team. I just believe they're going to be able to do it. And I hope they'll be able to do it because just love the club. I really hope that this is going to be the start of a very convincing second half of the season for City, and rather the continuation at least of a very consistent City that we are very used to seeing. Scary City is what they like to call it, when they've always been performing very, very well. So I hope to see a great result again from City's perspective, and I hope the good form continues from them. But for Ipswich, yes, I guess they're going to try again another time. Right, the last game to wrap up this entire game week, Chelsea against Wolves. Now, obviously, Chelsea will want to win this one. Definitely, again, to really just continue the season, to get the games, get the wins coming back to them again. Obviously, the game against Bournemouth, I predict them to get a draw. So it's really not a good result if that does happen. But if they do get a win against Bournemouth, I'm sure, get against Wolves, they want to do as well again. I mean, the last time they played Wolves, it was like 6-something. I think he scored 6 against Wolves. So it was quite a really, really good game for Chelsea. A lot of things went their way. I remember in that game, and they were just that good in that game. Really, really positive, really outstanding performance from the Blues. Against Wolves, in my opinion at least, I think the same is going to happen. It's going to be another 2-0 win for Chelsea. Should be a win in the pocket. And then for Wolves, it's going to be another struggle again. Just don't exactly think Wolves are gonna get the win against Chelsea. I think quality and confidence, I think, is probably on Chelsea's side a little bit more, despite Chelsea not really picking up results. Yeah, I just think, Chelsea just stand a better chance of winning this one, but I mean, I could be wrong. Maybe Wolves will be able to have a surprise. But again, as I said, Wolves can be very creative moving forward. It's just that the finishing product just hasn't been the most convincing, at least in my opinion. So we'll see what happens again with this one. But my take on it, Chelsea 2, Wolves 0. Yeah, and that'll be it, guys. Thank you very, very much for watching. Of course, without the presence of Gameweek 21's results, it's a little bit harder to predict because, I mean, it's always like, if a team wins, we expect them to win again next round or have a little bit more confidence moving forward. And if they don't get the win or, draw or lose, then confidence-wise will really impact the team. But predictions I put here are based on just in general how the season has been for the clubs. And we'll see what happens really for this one. So I'm again looking forward to watching all these games, or as many games as I can. But yeah, drop a like on the video if you guys have enjoyed this one, and of course subscribe if you're new around here. And of course get discussing in the comments down below how you guys think Game Week 22 will pan out. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Until then, goodbye. Thank you very much for the support as always.